Hey everyone, Udub here. Welcome back to the channel. Bringing you another video of Madden 23. Playing this on my PlayStation 5 and my LG C1 within my franchise mode. So I'm playing as the Baltimore Ravens going against the Giants in this video. Now, before getting started, two things to note real quick for the channel. So I've set up a Ko-fi.com page spelled K-O-F-I. It's a link that you can find in the description of this video or even on my YouTube homepage in the banner. But basically, this is something similar to Patreon. It allows you to do either one-time or monthly subscription style payments. And again, it's just a means of supporting the channel. Again, if you can visit that link, I greatly appreciate any and all support as we continue to grow the channel and expand on the videos. Second, putting a greater emphasis on the POV videos that I make. And in doing so, if you check the description of this video, you can find a full detailed list of all of my LG C1 picture settings, as well as all of my PS5 console settings for the display. Now, getting into the gameplay here. So I am playing this in performance mode. All my other prior videos were using the image quality mode, and the difference here is that in performance, the game renders at 1440p, but targets 60 FPS across the whole experience. So in image quality mode, you know, I do enjoy it because you can see the slightly the difference in resolution. However, when playing in image quality, the gameplay, while the actual like on the field play is 60 FPS, all of the inner like cutscenes, like when it shows the coach after the play or even instant replays, those are at 30 FPS, and I personally found that shift kind of jarring. So my preference now, especially with trying out performance mode, is to play in performance. Again, that slight dip in resolution doesn't really bother me that much, especially just because actually having the consistent 60 FPS experience just, in my opinion, looks better across the board. But definitely, I would love to know what you guys think if you've tried both modes, especially on the console. I know it is different on the Xbox. If I'm not mistaken, I believe on the Xbox it actually is... the difference actually is between image quality at 60 FPS and performance actually hits 120. So there is that difference here, but again, this is just kind of with the limitations of VRR and the PS5 right now. With that though, again, this is all first half gameplay. Just to note, again, just based on the length of the video, that's usually why I do first half. But with that, I appreciate you guys so much for your support. Thank you for joining. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking of this game, and maybe if there's other teams you'd like to see in terms of a gameplay. But with that, thank you again. Just please leave a like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you later.
Last week, but there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And while he may not verbalize it, in his mind, going up against this defense, one of the worst rush defenses in the league, he's thinking 200 plus in this game.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The Ravens in a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. They've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now. A throw taken in by Tylan Wallace. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 34. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they start...
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now Jones. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Jackson on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They go play action now. Jackson toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Rolling to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Well, we had a pair of division rivalries in primetime last weekend, Week 5, and we've got another pair of good ones coming up here in Week 6. Starting tonight, Cowboys and Eagles from Philly on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football has the Broncos and Chargers from SoFi. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. Kickoff 5:15 local time for that one out in Southern California.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
Looking to throw. Jones. The throw for Tony is intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And they'll begin by running the option. Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterback.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
The Giants take over first down at their own 3-yard line.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
On the 6-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
On second down now, Corbin, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Jones. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Jones now on first down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. Finding room at midfield. Down the right sideline. Kenny Galladay. Touchdown. Kenny Galladay. 77 yards. And the Giants have cut it back within a score. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Able to shoot, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A slant route caught by Bateman. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw again is Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, 56 yards. And the Ravens are in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. New York set to take the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
A 15-year career that's been aging like fine wine. Calais Campbell is one of the most respected players in the game. If he can get 6.5 sacks this season, that means he'll have 100 for his career.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second.
They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime.